Hello and welcome to Painting the Cape. My name is Lance, and today we're going to do a little painting of Tony Andrews' farm. I was out there the other day, and there was a nice little tractor in the field. And today's focus is going to be on silhouette. Silhouettes, if you can paint the whole silhouette of an image, you'll find that you can take just part of an image as long as it's part of the silhouette that kind of identifies what it is. And by putting these two different things together, you come up with a composition. Now, in drawing, of course, I use my trusty gloves and rag. And I always draw in transparent colors. Today, there's a transparent burnt sienna, and then there's a transparent purple, and also a transparent raw umber. So let's get started. Get a little sauce on there. This is just terpenoid. First thing I do is indicate where the horizon is going to be, because all the perspective is taken off from where the horizon is. That's your eye level. And let's see. This will be something down here. And we're going to put a tractor. What's nice about using a rag, like we talked about before, is that you can just kind of squish it around to try to feel where the silhouette's going to go. We're also going to put a little man on here, just a few boxes, and have his legs go down here to control it, maybe a little hat. And you can see that it's overlapped and this, that, and the other, and we'll clean that up when we go to a brush. So just color that in like that and not worry too much about it. Now there's going to be some trees, and there'll be a couple trees here, and they go all the way to the top. There's one tree. Here's another one, kind of close together. And this is going to go all the way down. A little bit further up. Then there's a big tree in the middle. And some roots. And like we talked about before, let's say there's something I don't like. I can just put some terp on here and take it right off. That's what makes it so nice to be able to draw with transparent color. Now, trunks of trees usually spin a little bit. They twist like that. And maybe one more little tree over here, like that. You can actually put the trees wherever you like. This comes in place when you're doing the design of a picture. You want to make sure that the trees aren't in the way of the main subject. In this case, the main subject is the tractor and the guy driving the tractor. Now I just kind of fill in a silhouette. The foreground's going to be dark. This whole foreground is going to be darkened in, so you just see what's also nice about rag. Let's say I want to get a big swatch of color. I can just use the whole rag just to get it in there. And you can see how thin the paint is. That's what makes it so easy to put on, take off. And then after we have the design going, then we can go with more solid paint. Maybe a little shadow here where this is, and maybe some shadows going across like that. You just kind of go where it feels good to you. If it doesn't look good to you, it doesn't feel good, just take it off. Now in the background, in the middle is going to be light. In the background, there's some bushes. It's dark at the base. So what I'm doing when I'm doing the first little go around, I'm just getting light and dark wherever it feels right. But I want to kind of cover up that background like that. And I keep doing this until I get basically the value study completed. There's going to be some bushes close to, so a little field out here, and that's going to be light. The sun's going to hit in the middle there. And what's nice about this also is you can play around with it. You know, just zoom around doing different patterns and things like that until you get what you like. I'm going to make this foreground a little darker, so I'm going to use I'm going to mix a little bit of purple into it. Like that. Painting with the rag like this, it keeps you from worrying about small little details. You're just getting the feel of the painting. And then you come back with opaque paint and fill it in. Now on the center section, I'm going to do a light color. You stain your darks and you load your lights. So now this is opaque paint, and I'm going to do it in a yellow, so the sun's really hitting this. This happens to be Naples yellow. So I'm looking through some trees at a field that the tractor is going to work on. Like that. See, now I'm going to cut in where the tractor is and try to make it a little thicker yet. I use thick paint, and when I push the brush down, I'm putting a lot of pressure on it. And I'm just thinking in silhouettes, like this is going to be a little man on a tractor. And I'm working mainly with straight lines. Even on a curve, I'll do straight lines, like I'll curve it. I'll do one straight line, then the next, and the next, so on. Now I'm going to figure that the light's coming from this side, so I'm going to make this side a little brighter. I'm going to move over to a lemon yellow, make it a little brighter. Get lots of paint on there so you can move it around. Now let's got to keep in mind the main subject, which in this case is the man, the tractor. Now to make the foreground a little bit darker, so I'm going back to my rag and darken it up a little bit. I'm going to darken it up with some burnt sienna and some raw umber. It's always a little bit darker on the base of these trees and the roots. And maybe some tree branches going off of this. As long as you can identify the silhouette, whether it's a tree or a tractor or whatever, it's going to work for you. Now I'm going to make that background, the base of the background, a little darker. And then I'm going to mix up a green. I'm going to use yellow ochre and a touch of black, maybe some lemon. I do the little bushes in front here. As you go further away, everything is less. It's not as strong, it's weaker. Move that out of the way. I'm going to mix up some lighter green as I go up. So this has to be like this. And it's going to be more foliage back here. And I just slap it on there, and then later on I'll cut it in tighter with the brush. Now on my palette here, I don't know if you can see that, but what I do is, I don't put it everywhere. I kind of do it in one pile and then bend the color, which means what I'll do is if I need more green, lighter green, I add a little yellow to it, and I keep making different adjustments. That way I could go back to a previous adjustment and use it. And it kind of organizes your palette. I keep my rack of colors in the same order, whatever is good for you, but to keep them in the same order every time so that way you can just reach for it instead of trying to hunt it down. It's kind of like a piano. You know where that key is, so you can just reach for it. Like that. Now I'm going to go back and do the foreground a little darker, so I'm going to use a little purple this time and put it over the green. A little bit too dark. So I adjust it, I bend it a little bit, add some so you can see that if I concentrate on silhouettes, the silhouette has a lot of power. You can do just about anything as long as the silhouettes work with each other. Like this tree is overlapping the tractor a little bit, but there's enough tractor showing that you can read that it's a tractor. And that's what composition is. Kind of controlling all these different silhouettes so they work. If you have a telephone pole coming out of someone's head, well, you might want to, you move the telephone pole or move the head over. You're not locked in to exactly what you see. You make the composition work. Okay, now that I have, I'm going to darken the trees a little bit more. You just keep adjusting it till it feels good to you. I'm going to make the bottom a little bit darker so there's no question that this is a tree trunk. And it's a double tree here. You don't want everything on a straight line either. You want to kind of push them forward, push them back. So they're in different starting places. But you can see how far you could go with just a rag before you even use the brush. Okay, now I'm going to go back. I'm going to use a brush now. And I'm going to start vibrating things. Like, for example, on the tree trunks, I'm going to use a lighter bluish green, kind of like a turquoise green. It can't be too bright. It's got to get pretty close to the value of the tree so it doesn't jump out at you. Then we're just going to go over here and just lay some down on top like that. Remember to twist it a little bit so it twists around. So in the forest here that we're looking through, the trunks are a little cooler because they're in the shadow. So that's why you're getting reflection from the sky. And now for the tractor itself, I'm going to add just a little part of red to it. It has to be dull. A dull red is a brown, but just enough so it reads like it's a red tractor. You don't want to kill it. Kind of dabble it. And we'll give the man a red shirt too. Now, I want to make the tractor a little darker, so I'm going to darken the wheels a little bit. There's two wheels on the front and two big wheels on the back. And then also, there's a shadow underneath the tractor of the man and the tractor itself, like that. Give him a black hat. It's all about contrast and different shapes. Now in the foreground, where the shadow is, I'm going to have some sun going through, so I'm going to add a little turp. I pre-coated the board kind of a cadmium yellow medium. This is where the light rays are coming through. And just wipe out some light rays like that. And there might be a few on the tree too. The light might hit the tree somewhere. So I take a little bit off of that. You don't want to overdo the light hitting, but you definitely want to have a feel of light coming through the trees and hitting that. And there we have it. Now here's a little bit more finished version of this. So this is what we end up with. Well, thank you for coming. And next week we'll do another scene of Cape Cod. And pretty soon we'll be able to get outside when it's nice and warm and paint some nice things. See you next time.